Excellence, the step-by-step method of excellence in life and work. Let's give him a big hand.
Love you. Now, Ken, he stole my thunder. He stole my thunder because I came in yesterday and I thought I was on a lucky streak. My flight left out of San Diego early. I got into Houston early. I got a chance to catch on standby a flight that was coming in 2 hours earlier than the flight that I was supposed to come in on. So when I got here at 11 o'clock, I was still supposed to be in Houston. So I called my good buddy Ken. I said, if Penn picks me up, that's 3 in a row. I know I'm ready to go. But as he already told you, Ken said no. But I'm still here. And that's what's important. Now, that's one thing I like to do before I really get into my presentations, because I believe, as you're going to find out a little bit more as we go through this presentation, commitment is a necessary and critical component to excellence. And since we're talking about incremental excellence, let's talk about commitment. You remember being in grade school, and when you would show up in school in the morning before you did anything else, you did the Pledge of Allegiance? You do, you remember that? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do the pledge right now. So I need everybody to stand up. All right. Now that I have everybody standing up, I only want you to remain standing if you're committed to excellence. So if you're not committed to excellence, go ahead and sit back down, because this is not for you. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our right hand, obviously I'm not going to do it, I'm holding the mic. We're going to put our right hand over our heart, except we're not going to say this Pledge of Allegiance. I have a special pledge that we're going to do. So we're going to pretend like we're in church. I'm going to say a verse, and then you're going to say the verse that I say. Then I'll say another verse, and then you're going to say the verse that I say. And at the end, we'll have said an excellent pledge that starts us on the path to step-by-step excellence. So here we go. Hands over your heart. Today is a new day.
Today is a new day.
A new beginning.
A new beginning.
It has been given to me as a new gift.
It has been given to me as a new gift.
I can either use it, or throw it away. I can't blame anyone but myself. If I don't succeed, what I do today will affect me tomorrow. So I'm going to do everything that I can to the fullest, realizing it can never come back again. This is my day. This is my life. And this is my training. And I promise to make it a success. Thank you for going with that. That is a success pledge. Now you are committed. Everybody saw you say that you're committed to the success. You can go ahead and have a seat. That's the success pledge. If you'd like to get a copy of the success pledge, you can email me at genero@speaktoberemembered.com, and I'll get you out a copy of the success pledge with some quotes on the back. That's the starting point. So now that we mentioned school, we're going to get some schooling in today. But I had to pick my daughter up from school. I got a young daughter. I call her Poopy. So I picked Poopy up from school one day, and she had in her notes something to give me. She's like, Daddy, look what I got. I said, what you got, baby? She said, the teacher gave me something to give to you. She had a Student of the Month award, and she was so proud to share with me. So I said, okay, Poopy, you know what? I've been doing a lot of things, not giving you the time that I said I would give you. I'm going to spend some extra time with you to let you know that I'm definitely committed to your success and what you're doing in school. So let's hang out today. All right, Daddy, that's cool. We're going to hang out today, extra, and I don't have to do homework? Yeah, baby, not today. So we go into a room, and if you were in there with me as she was tripping over her Legos and everything like that, you would have got a great lesson that I must share with you today. So we sit down and she puts in her favorite DVD. Barney. You know Barney? Ever heard of Barney? Got the purple club, looked kind of like her, got the purple dinosaur. So we put in the Barney DVD, and it was a pretty good DVD. And it was about what you're gonna do when you grow up. So they had the normal suspects, teacher, doctor, real estate agent. Really, they didn't have real estate agent, I just put that in the pretend. But they had the usual suspects. So after it was over, I look over to Poopy and I'm like, Poopy, what you gonna be when you grow up? You're not gonna believe what she said to me. She said, Daddy, I'm gonna be a butterfly when I grow up. Yeah, you thinking the same thing I was thinking. A butterfly? Yeah, Daddy, I wanna be a butterfly when I grow up. Why do you wanna be a butterfly? Because they make people happy. Oh, you like that, huh? I said, but you make us happy already. Why you can't be a butterfly right now? You make mommy happy, you make me happy, grandparents. Why you can't be a butterfly right now? You don't just get to be a butterfly. First, you got to be that squirmy worm. Then you get to be a caterpillar. You go in a cocoon, and only when you come out do you get to be a butterfly. I thought about it. This is what you thought about it. You looking at it. I thought about it. I thought that was a brilliant concept that she had. Because the concept that she was laying out to me is the concept that you're going to pick up today. She was laying out incremental excellence. See, as the squirmy worm gets better and better, it's making an increment closer to excellence. And then it goes into the cocoon, and it's getting more and more incrementally towards what? Excellence. And when it comes out as a butterfly, it's then that it's displaying the excellence that it has. My daughter gave me this idea to have a conversation about incremental excellence. It's step by step by step. But this is the deal. And it's going to make more sense as I unlay this presentation on you. You can't skip step 1 in the life cycle and go to step 2 and make it. And that's what we try to do a lot in business. That's what we try to do in life. The reason why most people won't never become as excellent as they can be is because they leave out critical steps. They don't want to be a slimy worm and get all the lessons that they need and go to a cocoon and then go to a butterfly. They want to go straight from the slimy worm to being a butterfly. And like my daughter said, you don't just get to be a butterfly. And I understand that it's hard because it's not your fault. You go to presentations like this, you get a lot of speakers to come up and talk, and it's great. You get a lot of information. You get a lot of great tools, a lot of great tactics. Sometimes we get overwhelmed because of one reason. The person that's talking to us, they may be on step 29 and you're on step 7. But you're trying to figure out how you're going to implement the ideas. See, because if you're up here speaking, obviously you've been doing this for quite some time. I love the way that Ken set this program up, because he set this program up to overcome that. Because you're going to get all the speaker stuff. So you don't have to worry about, I bought this speaker stuff, now I got to put it in some kind of way, even though it doesn't fit where I'm at right now. You're going to have it so when you go through the step and you're at the time you need it, you can access the information and use it so you can be a worm, caterpillar, butterfly. Because in other presentations, you don't get to do that. Every speaker coming up and they want to sell only their thing. And then you're confused of what you're going to do with it. So let's talk about why incremental success is important. And you might be wondering, as I see you looking in your eyes, you might be wondering, how is he credentialed enough to be talking about excellence in the first place? Glad you asked. I didn't just start thinking about this. I've been thinking about excellence ever since I was a young boy. See, I was fortunate to grow up around excellence every turn I looked. Anybody know about NFL football? NFL football? Do you know the Oakland Raiders, they have that term, excellence? I'm not talking about that excellence. But I am talking about an Oakland Raider. There's a running back on the Oakland Raiders by the name of Marcus Allen. Well, I grew up right next door to Marcus Allen. So I grew up watching excellence my whole life as an athlete. I don't know if you follow baseball, but there's a guy in my neighborhood by the name of Kevin Mitchell. He was the MVP of the National League before, but these guys grew up in my neighborhood, so I'm watching excellence, and then you get excellence in your own home and you really get stuck. I got this dad, you know, first of all, don't believe the myth that all young black men don't have fathers in the house. Because I had a father in the house, but he made it tough on us because my father got a JD, Juris Doctor, and a PhD, and he's in tight with the Lord because he's a Baptist pastor. I've been growing up around excellence all my life. So I made it a study. I started playing sports and things like that. I made it a study of excellence. I knew I wanted to be excellent. I wanted to do better than just being okay. So I know a lot about it. Now I know you look at me probably thinking, you know, you're about 25 or 26. Now I've been doing it a lot longer than that. I'm 50 years old. So I've been thinking about this for quite some time. Then as I got older, I started hanging out with other excellent people who were not just necessarily in athletics or my father. As you may know, I'm an executive coach. But I'm an executive coach trained under the #1 executive coach in the entire world. Raise your hand if you know Marshall Goldsmith. You don't know Marshall Goldsmith? You know Marshall Goldsmith. Marshall Goldsmith is the author of the book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There, and 28 other books. Well, he's my personal mentor. And again, we talk about excellence because we do executive coaches. I do executive coaching with people who run billion-dollar businesses. That's why I executive coach with 4. And they always talk about excellence. So I know just a little bit, not a lot. I know a little bit about what it takes to become excellent, but I'm going to talk to you in terms of incremental excellence. Incremental excellence is the term that means you have to go in a step-by-step path towards excellence, and it shows up in almost everything you do. So I want to make sure you really get this. Raise your hand or scream. You get permission to scream this out. Raise your hand. I really want you to scream if you know somebody who was able to run, but they never walked before. I don't hear anybody. Raise your hand if you know someone who was able to run and they had never took a step or walked before. Again, that's a lot of stuff we try to do in business. Anything that you do that's worth doing, there's some steps that you have to go through. So let me tell you how you've been getting this as you've been going through your life. You've been getting help with this process. So anything that was important, you got help. When you went through school, you got help. They didn't let you go to the 1st grade if you didn't go to kindergarten because you had to get that step. Then they didn't let you go to the 6th grade if you didn't finish the 5th grade. Or when you started taking math classes as you got older, you didn't take algebra if you didn't pass the regular 1 + 1 = 2 class. So you've been getting help to keep you on track, but we don't get that help when we're trying to excel in business and in life after school or outside of school. We don't get help with incremental excellence, and that's why we have a shortage of people who are actually being excellent on a really consistent, proven method. Anybody know the normal pattern people talk about of excellence? I'm going to draw it for you. Most people see an excellent curve that looks something like this. That's the traditional excellence curve that I see most people going through. It's all over the place. But if you do excellence in a step-by-step method, kind of what Ken talked about in a step-by-step fashion, your excellence could go like this. Because it's a systematic and it's progression that you're taking one step and you're taking that step and then using that step as a floor, which it used to be a ceiling. So you look at that used to be the ceiling, it becomes the floor. If it's a systematic path towards success, you can have that. You can have that, but there's a couple things you got to do. First, you got to believe that you can do it. You got to believe that you can get on the excellence path. I want to talk about a cycle as Terry, I think his name was Terry Pruitt, as he talked about excellence, he had the four quadrants. I want to share with you kind of four quadrants. Just imagine Terry's PowerPoint is up here, and he has the four quadrants. Well, one necessary component, and this is the first step if you're going to go through excellence, on a path to excellence. The first step is believability. You have to believe that you can be the excellence that you're going for, right? The second step is you have to then get emotionally attached to that belief. You got to feel that belief. You got to have that belief in you, and you feel like you can see yourself being it, and you feel bad when you see yourself not going in that direction. So you have a belief, and now you're emotionally attached to that belief, so much so that you feel bad or you feel some tension because you have not accessed that belief that you have. But you feel so bad about it, and it gives you energy. It actually fuels you. And it causes you to take the necessary actions that you need to take. So you got the believability fueled by the energy that comes from being emotionally attached to it, that gives you the necessary actions to do what you need to do. And I heard somebody mention Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is one of my favorite personal development guys. I really got really deeply involved with personal development by reading Jim Rohn's books. But he talked about this as one of the things I picked up more than anything else. He was the first one to start talking about massive action, way before Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins actually worked for Jim Rohn. He talked about massive action. Well, the massive action is coming out of that energy that I just talked about. That's fueled by that's founded by the believability. That gives you the massive action. And then you know what the massive action gives you? I know there's some personal development folks in the room. What does that massive action give you? It's the only thing that can give you. You said momentum. Anybody else? What does it give you? It gives you one more thing. It gives you results. Only action, you might want to write this down. This might be a writable moment. Only action produces results. Passion does not produce results. Only action produces results. Now let me tell you how this works when you go on this kind of path to excellence. So the cycle that I just gave you, so that you can easily remember it, I call it the bear cycle. Because you notice the words were B, believable, E, emotion and energy, A, action, and R, results. I call it the bear cycle. But this bear cycle is really, even as it looks like this, you should envision it like this. Oh my goodness. You should envision it like this. It's a continuous loop. Believability with the emotion drives the action. The action gives you results. The results reinforces the belief. Then you're going up a step. Believability, now more believability, higher emotion, more action, more results, reinforces it. Are you seeing the picture? This is called incremental. Increments, step by step by step. Now, I want to make sure you get this. This is so valuable. And this is basically all I do with my executive coaches. This is basically it. Just talking about different ways that this looks about in their lives. And I'm going to talk about it to you in ways that may look about in your business and in your communication. But let me let you see it real quickly before we get to that. I got a smartphone. Now, I don't know why they say it's smart, because sometimes this doesn't act like it's smart. I said, Cortona, put me at 8901 Business Park Drive, and me and the cab driver last night I don't know where we were, but we weren't on Business Park Drive. So I don't know how smart Cortona is. But one of the concepts about this is this. Anything that you have that works as a systematic and is a high functioning, goes through a process of incremental excellence. If you go back to when they first started having phones, they were these huge things, bigger than this. But incrementally, they're getting smaller and smaller. Because look at your computers. What has happened to your computer? You got DOS. You got MS-DOS. Then they came out with this thing, Netscape. You can get on the internet. But you know how you got on the internet? You came in. Nah, I might be, well, you guys look like you're about as old as me. But I remember when I first got my computer, and I first got internet when I was going to San Diego State University, and we got these accounts. They said, we got these accounts, and you can go on this thing called the interwebs, and you can really do some stuff. You can look up some stuff. So I would go turn on my computer, and I would do the www. This is when you couldn't even put capitals. It was case sensitive. You put the www//SDSU/Roadhead, all this stuff in there. And then you press the button, and you know what? You go to class, you talk to your friends, you talk to some girls, eat some food, and you come back, and it might be loaded. The key word is might be. You might have to go do another class before it loads up. We can't even wait 3 seconds for something to load up now, can we? But how did they get to that point? Incremental excellence. Windows 8. You know they're working on Windows 10 now. I was up at Microsoft not too long ago. They were already working on Windows 10. Software understands the idea of incremental excellence. Planes. Do you know about flight? Anybody know about flights, about planes? Do you know planes are off track 97% of your flight? Did you know that? They get to where they're going on a process called incremental excellence. They kind of fine-tune it little by little and closer and closer and closer, and then you end up landing in your airport. This is on every flight, on average, because incremental excellence. So they try to get to the next step that needs to get to the next step. So the idea around incremental excellence is you have to only thing you have to do is find that best next step. And when you find the best next step, you make that other path, which is up, as opposed to this random path, and you take a different next step. The only thing you're doing is doing something different. That's why because it's doing something different, it's not necessarily based on the best next step. So I'm going to talk to you about business. In the Crenshaw Consulting Group, we basically focus on three areas. We're going to use these as a framework today. We talk about strategy with our businesses, strategy, we do productivity, and we do communication. So let you look at that in all the phases, because I think if you have all these 3 phases, it's been shown in our businesses, that if you have all these 3 phases, you have a highly functioning, profitable business that is sustainable through ups and downs through any economy if you're working and incrementally improving all those 3 areas. So let's talk about strategy. If you're doing strategy, and feel free to jump in, because one of my main premises is this. I don't know everything, and a lot of the answers are actually in the room. I've heard some great speakers of some knowledge, so some of the answers are in the room. So here's the first question. If you were going to be excellent at strategy, what would be step 1? Anybody?
Make a plan.
Well, yeah, so make a plan is an answer.
Where do you want to go?
Where do you want to go is an answer.
Examine where you are now.
Examine where you are now. What was yours?
What are the strengths of the group?
What are the strengths of the group? So that was good little nuggets that you got. And all those questions, all those answers have something in common. They're wrong. No, I'm just joking. They're not wrong. They're just not the best answer. Whenever you're doing strategy, the first most important thing is you have to have a vision of where you're going. Even before you know where you are, you have to have a vision for where you want to go. That's mission. That's vision. Step number 1, facilitators, executive coaches. Is that what we do? You got to know where you're going. How are you going to know if you got there? So that's number 1. You have a word? Go ahead.
Genero, I just got to tell you, you captured my attention like no one else today. Sorry for this.
Wait, can we get that on tape? Hey, Make sure we interview this guy after the presentation. I didn't pay him. He did that on his own.
And nothing from detracting from anyone else. But you remember years back, how many of us been around a few years? Remember people talked about making the impossible possible, breakthrough, complete, reorganizing, disruptive.
Hey, can we get him a mic? Can we get him a mic?
You know, all these consultants who were paid millions of dollars to train companies to, you know, make the impossible possible, breakthrough, you know, totally disruptive kind of change. Now, I'll just tell you my own business corporate experience, the only way you get better is to find one or more things you decide today you're going to get a little bit better. And then tomorrow morning, either the same or something different, you're going to find one other thing to get a little bit better. So this whole concept of incrementalism years ago was shunned by many people because it wasn't sexy.
They didn't know poopy.
They didn't know poopy.
Yeah. Poopy's my daughter. He touched on a point, and I was gonna get there, so I don't want to. But I'm gonna get there now. When I talked about communication, this is one thing I know. This is one thing that'll drive you. This might be the best thing that I say today. If you do your best on one thing, and I like the way this person had this. If you do your best and you focus on the one thing that matters, you cannot get worse. You automatically will get better. It's automatic. If you do your best, you will automatically get better. Now, I read so many books, but I read one book. They talked about if you get 1% better every day, 72 days, you'll be twice as good as you are today. And that's one of my missions, to be better today than I was tomorrow. So I appreciate you putting that out there. So let me get back to the idea. So if you're doing business and and that's anything in life, if you want to go somewhere, you first have to have the vision. Number one, we run around so much visionless. And so since we have no vision, we have no excellence. Now, I go to church. Like I said, my father's a Baptist minister. I rebelled against it when I was a youngster, but I'm really into church and God, so I'm not trying to throw anything out there on you, but I remember reading this in the Bible. You smile, I might even let you say it.
Without vision, my people perish.
Without a vision,
My people perish.
my people perish, and that's why we dying today. That's why we dying today. That's old. That's like what, 4,000 or 5,000 years old, Ken? I mean, that's fundamental. So, Jim Rome. The reason why I love Jim Rome so much, because Jim Rome was in the room today. I heard Jim Rome many, many years ago say, "Don't come up here and get the microphone and try to be impressive. Just impress upon the people what they need to do. Just be interested and not try to be so interesting." But that's really critical. You have to have a vision. So now that's strategy. Let me talk about productivity. We had a great productivity person come on with the priority management. I just had your stuff. Maybe we could do some things together. Because on priorities, I'm gonna tell you what happens with my executive coaches. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why executive coaching, a lot of people don't make money. And there's some people who make millions doing executive coaching. I basically only have 19 clients in my executive coaching practice. The least expensive one pays $6,500 a month to talk to me twice. But there's a reason for that. Because when we do our conversations, when we're doing our coaching, I'm going incremental. I'm using the same process of incremental excellence. We only focus on one thing at a time, and we focus on what's the most important thing that's going to give them the biggest result next. And then we do that, and then we find out what's going to take you further next. And you focus on one thing. And this word focus is a very strong word, and it goes something like this. Follow, that's the F. O is one. C is course. U, until, and S, successful. Follow one course and two, successful. Learn how to walk before you start trying to run. I don't think you got that. I didn't hear anything. I usually get a or something. Learn how to walk, then try to run. Focus on one thing before you get successful. You ever been in the swimming pools? Learn how to tread water before you go in the deep end. Don't just jump in there, because they tell you just jump in. You know, you get your motivational speakers, they tell you to jump in and grow your stuff, grow your wings on the way down. I say you jump in and you're going to drown. Learn how to tread water before you go in the deep end. That make sense? Amen. There's one other way to say that. Incremental excellence. Do the next thing, and then 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 the next thing, and you get where you're trying to go. But it'll be a path. You'll be raising your standards. You won't be all over the place. So let's move on to sort of productivity. Is you got to find out what's that next thing. Somebody mentioned Todd Duncan. Can you raise your hand? Somebody mentioned Todd Duncan. Oh, we really got to hang out. You did Todd Duncan too? Todd Duncan is a guy in the mortgage world. He's a high trust sales academy. I remember when I first went to High Trust Sales Academy, I was in the mortgage profession. I'll be honest, I got into the mortgage profession because it was some good money. I didn't care about, housing and all that. I'll be honest, I got into the mortgage profession because there was some good money. But Todd Duncan talked about this concept, so I wanted to do that at a high level. I went to High Trust Sales Academy, but Todd Duncan talked about green activities, right? He talked about red activities. Red activities they don't pay you any money, they don't get you going anywhere. And then there's the green activities that generate money for you, generate revenue. You got to focus on the revenue generating parts of the business if you want to have the maximum impact, choosing the right task. He had this matrix, it's so complicated, but I understand. I don't want to break it down to you, but he had a time trap matrix, had 4 boxes. You might want to look that up. High Trust Sales Academy, Todd Duncan, time trap matrix. It's a very important concept for productivity. But you can figure out in productivity, the thing you have to figure out next, what is going to give you the most impact. So when I do coaching with entrepreneurs, now I'm not in executive coaching now, and I'm doing coaching with small business owners. So when I'm having this conversation with small business owners, the first thing I ask them is, we're talking strategy first. And I say this question to them. If we were having this conversation, what's your name, sir?
William.
William, let's say, William, you hired me because you want me to help you double your business.
Yes, sir.
You do? All right, well, talk to me later about that. But William, since you want me to help you double your business, I want you to think about this for a second. Now, it's going to be a kind of a strange question, but just work with me for a minute, all right?
Yes, sir.
I really want you to answer this question, William. So think about it. Think if you're wanting to double your business, I'm thinking I might be able to help you. So if we were having a conversation, William, a year from today, and you were able to say, Genero, I'm so glad I hired you for this year. What would have to have happened for you to really have a smile on your face and be comfortable saying that? What would have to happen?
I would have to take action
So you would have to have taken action on what?
on what you told me.
So you would have to have taken action on what I told you in order for you to feel like to be happy, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'll just stop with that. You know what? That moves us to communication. No, this is a very critical piece. I do that question first. Now, we was in a real session. We would actually get some measurables too, because that doesn't have measurables to it. We would go further. We would actually get how you're going to measure that, and we would have some numbers or some production, some kind of something we can tangibly grab and hold on to. But I don't want to go into the deepness because I let it come out of him. But we would have that. That would be the vision. I'm here. I want to go here. Then I would go back. Then we'll talk about where he's at. What has him in the circumstance? But it would be in communication, right there. And you know why he would do the things that we would ask him? This is critical communication skills I'm going to give you right now. When you're offering your business, your skills, you should be offering your skills, but you should only be offering your skills based on asking questions. One of the reasons why the guy talked about consultants, they don't make the money that they want to make, because they go in as consultants and they give prescriptions to people. And the people don't take the prescription. Because it's a prescription. But if you go and have a collaboration and ask questions, when you ask questions, they'll tell you what they're willing to do. I don't know if you heard that. That's critical. I would ask him a question, and he would answer. And because he answered, this is the necessary difference that I want you to get. This is communication next step. If I tell him to do something or what might work, he could doubt it, right? But if he tells me, he owns it. He's going to do it. So we're going to be making a decision to do something, right? Remember I talked about that word commitment? And let me know what my time looks like, because I don't want to go over. Because go over means you don't get to come back. I know that. I'm going to write a critical equation for you. This equation can change your life. It can change your life at home. It can change your life in the business world. And it goes like this is all about decision making. Coming up with the best decisions to move forward. And it goes like this. So this is the equation. If you understand this equation right here, I guarantee you'll get a lot more things done at a lot higher level, at much faster level. And the equation for you, if you can't see it, the equation is ED is equal to RD times CD. So let me give you some letters that go with the word, because you can also have ES is equal to RS times CS. Okay, so E is effective. R is right, and C is commitment. So let you hear how it sounds in the conversation, in the equation. An effective decision, key word is effective. An effective decision is the right decision multiplied by commitment to the decision. An effective is ES now. An effective solution, we talked about solution as one of the things that we did for the mastermind. An effective solution is the right solution multiplied by commitment to the solution. And that's all I do in my executive coaching practices and in my leadership training when I'm training and advising small businesses. We come up with the decisions in a collaborative method, because I ask questions and they say what they will do. And then that's what we'll do. And this is what the difference, other people will do this. They'll think that they have the best decision. So let's say as an example, this is what happens at boardrooms, everywhere. I go into executive coaching companies, this is what happens. The leadership will come up with some decisions. They come up with these great decisions, even they come up with a great strategic plan, initiatives, tactics, action plans, and it's actually great. Really good stuff. But it's the suits, and then the suits pass it down to the regular guys that's doing the work, and there's a disconnect. You know why? You know what they don't have? So this is what they had. This is what they started out with. This is the given. The given is this. In the boardroom, they have this. They have what I like to call a 100% solution. It's the best solution because they have all the data. They got spreadsheets, they hire consultants to give them data, and this is the 100% solution. So this is 100%. I call this the 100% solution when I get in the boardroom and I talk to them. Best, all the best data supported by facts, but they have this when they hand it off to the people. So they got this. They have this equation. So I think you can see that what they have over here also. Because I learned in school a long time ago, 0 times anything is 0. Because they have the right 100% solution that have no commitment to it by the people who's going to do it. And since they don't have no commitment, they don't get good results. Now I'm going to share something with you why certain people are able to command such high fees as consultants. The only reason why they can do it over and over again, because the people they work with get results. They get results first. So, and what kills you, if you don't get results, if the people you work with don't get results, this is in a team, you don't have to be a high level, this is a team. If the people you work with don't get results, they don't look bad, you look bad as a leader. So, that's the bad solution. Now, I'm gonna tell you what's a better solution. You bring in some of the people who not necessarily got the 100%, so you're gonna bring in some of the people who are gonna do the work. You're gonna bring them in. So when you bring them in, you might end up at water, you got more people to the table, they're not as knowledgeable, okay, we know that. But you get a decision, it might be a 70% solution now, as far as quality. So the quality of what they come up with might be 70% because they got other people in there not as skilled or not as knowledgeable, whatever, and they want to have consensus. So it comes with, they get this. But then they get this though, times 100, they get 100% commitment to the action, they actually end up with something over here that's called an effective decision. Because they got buy-in. And that's what you need. Buy-in is what's going to drive the behavior. So if I was doing consulting with him, advising, he's going to come up with the answers through me asking him questions, and he's going to say, and I'm going to say, okay, we'll do that. And this is how you can maximize that. And then he's going to do work because he's going to be committed to it because he came up with it. We came up together. Collaboration. He's going to take action. He's going to get results. I'm going to look good. He's going to look good. He's going to give me a referral. You're going to give me a referral, right?
Absolutely.
He's going to give me a referral, and I'm going to have a good business. I'm going to have a good business. Can you see that? Effective decision is the right decision, even if it's watered down a little bit, multiplied by commitment to the decision. Now, when you're at home, do you just tell your kids to do stuff? Or do you find out a way to kind of get some kind of commitment from the kids by letting them have some say-so? Give them some choices. Let them have some solutions, some choices. The kids will do more stuff. They'll be more committed than if you just say, this is what we're going to do and this is it, this is how it goes. So this, like I said, this is just not family, this is just not work stuff, this is family stuff, this is life stuff. If I say, we're going to dinner, this is where we're going, it's my way or the highway, you know it's not going to happen that night. Just leave that there. But, so we talked about strategy, you got to have a vision first. That's what's going to get you going towards the incremental success. And as you see one step, you get moved and you move. The right thing. Productivity, taking the right action. Not just any action, but the right action. One step at a time. I remember when I was a young boy, they used to have this show every Christmas season. And they had the Mr. Freeze. And I used to love this song. Put one foot in front of the other, doo-doo-doo-doo, and soon you'll be walking out the door. Yes. That's incremental excellence. You like that, huh? That's incremental excellence. Incremental excellence is not a hard concept. It's so simple that we overlook it. It's so simple that we overlook it. But our smartphones, our computers, all went through the process of incremental excellence. They all did. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing incrementally. I want to ask you, give you an opportunity to ask me some questions. I want to make sure you really get this concept. Anybody have a question, just ask your question. I want to make sure you could walk out of here understanding this concept of incremental excellence. Okay. Nobody has any questions? Everybody's really thorough? We're going to go here, then we're going to go there.
Can you speed up the step-by-step process with having an expert to teach you so you don't have to go through as much of the pain at one time? In other words, I would rather go through someone else's pain through reading about it or learning about it than physically going through it myself.
So, what's your name, sir?
Dan.
Dan asked a question. Dan said, can you speed up the process by going through someone else's pain or somebody else who might know to get that process? Now, again, I got to get a disclaimer. I don't know these people. They throw me home runs, but I don't know them. Ken, can you verify that so they don't get it? I didn't know these people before today. Now, here's the next home run he just hit me. Your answer to my question is the conversation that I get when I'm selling my consulting to people. So this is what I tell them. Oh, let me give you another little quick tip real quick. Another way that you can accelerate your acceptance of somebody giving you a higher fee. First, you got to believe you deserve a higher fee. That's one. I see so many people they don't ask for the money, so they don't get it. That's one. But the next thing is this. If you have a list of questions, so what I would have had, if he was a client that I was trying to have come on, he wouldn't have asked me that question because on my frequently asked questions list, I have a frequently asked questions list. One of the things it says on there it says, why would your advisory service be important? And my answer, I write the question on my frequently asked question list, then I write the answer. And my answer is this: I'm going to do this for you so that my long road becomes your shortcut. You like that, huh?
I like that.
That's free, you can have that, write that down.
Is it true?
My long road is designed to be your shortcut. And this is the thing. A lot of people are selling what they do, and they don't sell the number one thing. This is how you get more money for whatever you're doing. You shrink the amount of time. Everyone can get where they want to go, most likely. That's even I don't never give prescriptions. I get the questions out of the people. Eventually they could have got there. What they're paying me for is this phrase. You might want to write this one down.
Writable moment.
This is a writable moment. You like that too? You can have that too. This is pad. Some of this stuff is copywritten. No. My only job, the only thing that I sell, and I go in there and tell them, other thing people like is you tell them honest. I say, I don't have anything special to offer but one thing. But it's the one thing that you want that nobody else is selling. I don't have competition because nobody else is selling it. My only job is to help you get further faster. That's it. All I'm selling is you get further faster. I'm gonna give you an example how it got done to me just last Christmas though. Very important concept. Most people are trying to sell what people don't want. So I go to my daughter's, it's Christmas time, and I'm going to give my daughter a bike for Christmas. So I bring my daughter in, Poopy. You guys know Poopy. Poopy the reason why I'm here today. So we in the store, and she identifies this bike that she wants. And it's a pretty significantly priced bike. But I'm loving Poopy, she's doing good. So I let her pick out the bike. And so we buy the bike. Next thing you know, we buy the bike, they come out of the back with a box. And some manuals. So you can go ahead and put this book together. You can put the bike together, don't worry about it. So they got manuals in there, they got a one-piece, it has a one-piece thing in this. They say, let me somebody, the only thing you need to put it together is in the box. So, and they got a manual, you'll be all right. You can read, right? I read a little bit. But I didn't want a manual. Everybody tries to sell the manual, right? I said, well, can we do something different than the manual? He said, well, we could put the bike together for you. It's a fee. So that's the next level of desirability, you guys. You guys might want to write this stuff. This is writable stuff. Writable moment. I normally don't give this stuff away for free. I normally don't. Just because it's Ken, I normally don't walk out on the stage if I get $10,000 or more. But anyways, Ken's my boy though. So they say, yeah, we can put the bike together, but you're gonna have, first of all, you're gonna have to wait, you're gonna have to pay more money, and then you're gonna have to put it on your seats in your car. I said, where's it gonna go? It can't fit in the trunk. I said, it's not going on my seats. So I said, we gotta come up with another solution. I can't do that. They said, well, we got one more solution, but I think this is the best solution, so I think you should consider this. He said, what we can do is this. Let's schedule an appointment. We're gonna bring the bike out to your house. Not only are we gonna bring the bike out to your house, we're gonna get Poopy, so you're gonna schedule it when Poopy's not in school, so Poopy can get actually on the bike. We're gonna put the bike together for you. We're gonna let Poopy hit it around the block a couple times. We're gonna make sure the seat is on right, all the decals is in the right spot that she really likes, and we're gonna adjust it, air pump the tires, everything right. I was like, yeah, that's what I want. Why you didn't say that from the beginning? And that's what they did. But here's the deal. Another writable moment. The process of them putting the bike together at my house, having Poopy hit a couple blocks, test it out, get the perfect fit, costs more than the bike. It's priceless though, because that smile on Poopy's, Ken knows Poopy. That smile on Poopy's face, the bike rides perfectly, and she gets to tell her friends, man, they came out to the house and put my bike together. Your daddy put your bike together, but they came out to the house and put that's priceless. But that's what people want. People want priceless solutions, you guys. Give them what they want. Nobody really wants the manual. That's what we try to give them. We try to sell the hardest thing, so it's hard to sell it. Okay. We try to sell people the hardest thing, so it's hard to sell it. Very few people are trying to sell the highest thing. I go in right from the very beginning. This is what I do. I'm going to give you one last nugget. This is a phrase. If you have this phrase and believe in this phrase, I guarantee you it'll take you places that you've never been before. I got this phrase from Marshall Goldsmith. I was talking to somebody in the bathroom today. I actually heard two guys talking in the bathroom earlier today. Now, that's not a practice that I'm into. But I heard two guys talking in the bathroom today, and they were talking about the idea that if you could do the one thing, if you can do what you do, and you do it, you love it so much that you would do it for free, would that work? I don't know who it was. I think it was you. That guy, he did wash his hands after he used the bathroom. You can shake it.
That's what I'm known for. All around town.
Yeah, but he was talking about, him and some other guy was talking about, what if you can do the job or whatever it is so much so that you love it that you would do it for free, one, and you would do it at such a high level that you would only get paid after you gave results. This is the last nugget. That's the actual premise that I run my business on. My business is run, another reason why it's 100% guaranteed, because you don't have to pay me unless you get results. But I know I'm going to get my results because, one, I'm collaborating with you to get to what we're going to do anyway, but at the same time, I know I'm going to produce results. I'm so skilled at what I do because I love doing it. I would do it in my sleep. I would do it for free anyway. So I'm willing to go in and have to do it and only get paid if I get results. That's skyrocket. That's the best guarantee you can have. That's what Marshall Goldsmith does as well. And he has a 2-year waiting list. And he doesn't work with any company that's not $1 billion company.
I didn't ask you, Genero. Do you like Texas barbecue?
You know what? I only had Texas barbecue one time, and I was with Ken. So I don't know if it was Ken or the barbecue. I can't say.
How long are you in town for?
I'll be in town till tomorrow evening.
You want to go get barbecue afterward?
Yeah, you know I don't got no car, so I'm just wherever you take me.
I got a car and we'll go get some great barbecue.
Okay. So, well, we'll work it out how that goes. But this is the last thing I want to give you. This phrase. This is the phrase that Marshall gave me to actually make me understand this. Because I was like, Marshall, you tripping. I got to get my money, man. But Marshall said this. I believe it now because I do it and it's worked. He said, all you have to do, and you'll be able to get the Zig Ziglar equation. Remember he talked about if you give people what they want, you'll get what you want. You'll actually be able to get this this is what Marshall told me. It's equal to the Zig Ziglar equation. All you have to do is offer value. You might want to write this down. This is beautiful right here. This is the best stuff I'm going to give you. All you have to do is offer value. So that means you come out with your best stuff when you get on the microphone. I'm giving you the best that I got. If you get an email from me, that's what I always say at the bottom of all my emails, giving you the best that I got. I didn't create that. That's the Anita Baker, though. But I'm giving you the best that I got. That's all I can do. Offer value and invite engagement. That's it. So what does that mean to you? Hopefully I gave you a little bit of value today.
Oh, yeah.
You did? If I gave you some value today, say, oh yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I said, now I'm going to tell you how you can get booked as a speaker. That right there, that little snip right there, I can get that to any mini planner on the planet and they'll bring me in as a speaker. Guaranteed. This is what you also want to do as a speaker. I have a website, speaktobерemembered.com. I'm going to give you some little tips of how I made myself memorable. I'm pretty sure that you won't forget me by tonight. Maybe tomorrow you won't know who I am. But at speaktobерemembered.com, if you go there and you look in the right-hand corner, you can get at least 3 times better as a speaker just by opening your emails every day. You get once a week, you get a lesson with a PDF transcript of the lesson. And if you do that 52 weeks of incremental excellence, a year later, you'll at least be 3 times better than a speaker than you are today. That's free. No money involved in that. I'm just offering some value and inviting engagement on that. That's what it's all about. So I want to leave you with this. No matter what life has given you, no matter what circumstances you face today, no matter what obstacles might be in your way, please believe you can still be Great. Thank you, everybody.